Congratulations on your upcoming series. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
We have themes of sex and dating and the messiness and the challenges that come with that through the lens of woodland animal creatures. How did you come up with this splendid idea?
The show came to be with my partners from Big Mouth, Andrew Goldberg, Mark Levin, and Jen Flackett, and we felt like there was a great opportunity to, whereas Big Mouth covered like adolescence and teen stuff, this was an opportunity to tell more adult stories, and specifically like around dating and falling in love and sex and all that stuff that putting it in the animal kingdom felt like a really fun, easy way to tell a bunch of really raunchy, emotional stories.
Was there ever a moment in the creative process that you were like, okay, this is like really risky, or have you always been confident, like, I have to take it this far?
You know, I mean, we have so many years of experience doing this kind of material with Big Mouth and Human Resources, and so we kind of knew generally where this stuff lives for us. And usually it lives where, like, yes, this is a big, crazy joke that's like, you know, graphic, sexual, whatever, but it's always underpinned with like a real genuine sense of emotion and story of what's happening. But yeah, no, we're gonna take some swings, and it's sort of where we've landed in the landscape of animation. It's sort of a place that we've, I guess, carved out.
Va-va-voom! Did you just va-va-voom your own mom?
I think once you get into it, it's like, okay, this is the landscape and this is the world, and then you kind of start to see, like, you know, what you're talking about, like that realness underneath. It's also really funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal, is make something that is funny and also emotional. And again, it's like, you know, we all watched those we all watched like Friends and How I Met Your Mother and all those kinds of shows, like a group of, you know, 20-somethings, 30-somethings who are looking for a partner or whatever. And in the case, it's the animal kingdom, so it's like mating season was such a kind of fun parallel to play.
When I began watching the show, at first I was like, what are the rules of this universe? You know, because some of them wear clothes and jewelry, and then, you know, there's a funeral. When you're creating that, how do you come up with like the society and like where's like the structure of this animal kingdom?
Sure, I mean, anyone who's, I think, made animation specifically around animals, you know, there's different ways of approaching it, of like they fully live in their own universe where humans don't exist. They live in the forest. They have no markings. But what we started to find, especially in character design, was like, oh, you really do need to differentiate them with some sort of like worn object, at least the way our characters were designed, because otherwise, like, Josh looks like every other bear, or Ray, you know, like Ray the raccoon is sort of, it's hard to differentiate them. But as soon as they're wearing like a kerchief or red Nikes or, you know, red sneakers, whatever it is, it helps to begin to figure that stuff out. And then, you know, what the sets are like and the design and how does that world work. We definitely looked to the Flintstones and shows like that, of how do you create what we can identify with as like sort of very human living habitats, integrating in the natural world. And throughout the show, there's very fun solutions you'll see that our artists and designers came up with to make what does a martini glass look like in the animal world. And always, when you look closely, it's incredible, like the ingenuity that has been developed to come up with it.
I love that the Flintstones was also like a inspiration.
Yeah,
it's
a little
cool.
Swiss Family Robinson.
We've discussed a lot of like the humor and the raunchiness, but like you were saying, there is like a realness that anchors it underneath, right? When people watch this, is there any sort of theme or part of the show that like you're hoping that they'll take away from it on a deeper level?
What the show is, it's about this group of 4 friends, and so I think part of the theme, and it's not explicit and was not intentional, but it is like, as you navigate falling in love or trying to find your mate, it's your friends who are actually there to be with you through it all, hopefully, if you've got good friends, you know? And then also, you know, you have your conflicts and issues with them because sometimes they start to become the platonic version of the relationship that you're either looking for or getting out of, or, you know, not thinking about very much. So I think like close friendship can help you through all the trials and tribulations of dating and trying to find your partner.
Totally. I love that. Friendship is love too.
Yeah, totally.